Britain's new Prime Minister faces a big in-tray on the home front, but there are also pressing issues overseas. Here in France, she's already been stirring controversy, making this comment last month when asked about President Emmanuel Macron.
The jury's out. If I become Prime Minister, I'll judge him on deeds, not words.
Truss's words coming after a number of issues between the UK and France over the last few months. Macron responding with this.
The nation that is the United Kingdom is a friendly, strong and allied nation, regardless of its leaders and sometimes in spite of and beyond its leaders or the little mistakes they may make in campaigning remarks.
Paris and London will be hoping that a new Prime Minister could be the signal for a new start to the French-British relations.
It's not a love relationship now. It's reason, sense, and not sensibility. Then we have the ideal seen from Paris and seen from the other capitals in the EU is considering what we have to face, the challenges we have to face. The proper thing to do is to work together.
There's also Britain's relationship with the EU to address, the problems surrounding Northern Ireland's unique place as the only part of the UK that has a border with the EU, still unresolved with Brussels.
I think the Irish question remains a very important issue for the United States in general, for the Americans, and for President Biden in particular. And he already expressed that very clearly. And I don't think either that the Americans want the Europeans, seen from the other side of the Atlantic, being enemies.
Truss's policy toward the world's second largest economy is also under the spotlight. The new British Prime Minister says she'll declare China as a threat, despite the UK Finance Ministry trying to encourage British firms to invest there.
How do you marry that with Britain's strong economic and trade relationship with China, something that her predecessors, most particularly David Cameron and George Osborne in the middle of the last decades, were rolling out the carpet to preserve and to enhance?
And with the war in Ukraine showing no signs of ending, the new Prime Minister has already said she'll continue to support Kiev. After the elation of being elected as leader and now installed as Prime Minister, Liz Truss faces the reality of governing at a time of arguments with Brussels, tensions with China and war in Europe.